Okay, let's do an analysis using some of these rules, focusing specifically on melodic embellishments. So I have here example from some Bach, and let's take a listen quick. Okay, so first things first, let's look at these A naturals here. So we have some out of key notes. How can we explain those? They can actually be explained pretty easily if I tell you that we are, look at our key signature. That looks like we're in the key of E flat, but we're not. We're actually in the key of B flat minor. Now, why B flat minor and not C minor? The key signature shows C minor, but what this excerpt is actually from somewhere in the middle. So I think we're in the middle of a modulation here. So you can tell we're in B flat minor because of that resolution at the end to the B flats. So even though the key signature at this point is showing C minor, we're going to analyze it according to the resolution that we see at the end of this phrase, which is B flat. So let's analyze this from B flat minor, which means these A sharps give us that, these A naturals give us that leading tone up to B flat, right? So A flat is what's in B flat minor, but leading into the cadence, we want to push those up to an A natural to give us that leading tone to really nail home B flat. So, let's analyze this. Let's first go through and let's just name our intervals, and then we'll figure out what our non-chord tones are next. Okay, so we have a fifth, and then a sixth, and then a third. Oops. Third. Second. Third again. Third again. Third. Fourth. Fifth. Sixth. Seventh. A second. A third. And then leading towards the end, we have a, let's call that a ninth. And then an eight. Now remember, I'm going to call this a ninth because it's going down to the octave. So I wouldn't want to call this a two and then an eight after that, because that looks like, if you just look at the numbers, that there's a huge leap up, but there's actually a step down. So that's why I would call this 9 rather than calling it 2. So it's just so that when I look at the numbers, I can see easily that 9 is going down to 8, which is accurate here. Here I have a fourth, a third, and an octave. Okay, so there are my intervals. So which ones are dissonant? Let's just go through and let's start with this 2. Okay, so how can we justify that? What kind of non-chord tone is this? This is a neighbor tone. It's going up and down, right? So we would call that a neighbor tone. So right here, let's write neighbor tone. Moving on to our next one is this fourth. We can easily just call that a passing tone. So let's just put a P or PT. Either one works. This seventh and this second, we can call that actually, we can call both of those passing tones if we wanted to, because, and this is now allowed to have a passing tone on a strong beat like that. So it's kind of a double passing tone. So let's just call it a passing tone and another passing tone on both of those. And then at the end, we have this nice suspension. We have a 9/8 suspension here. Nine-eight suspension. And then we end with a 4/3 suspension. Here, so we have a 9/8 to a 4/3. Oops. 4/3 suspension, and then to the octave. So that explains all our non-chord tones here. These notes that are technically out of key, because they're the leading tone, we don't have to do anything special for them. We can just call them as they are, which is diatonically a third in both cases.